Trophy final in amazing style to face the winners of Wigan and Leeds here at Central Park. Wigan, some 25 cup ties unbeaten, and the Regal Trophy holders facing the opposition that perhaps they fear most. Our commentary team at Central Park: Steve Sims, Terry Flanagan and Ray French.
The frost that cost St Helens and Warrington that appearance on Grandstand last week has gone. A very strong wind, but no need of the underground heating here at Central Park. Warrington supporters, well, they won't want me to remind them again of that record 8-0 defeat in the semi-final on Thursday. No easy passage for today's semi-finalists in the fourth round. Leeds facing spirited resistance from second division Carlisle, while Wigan forced into extra time before taking the spoils at Norton Park. A good crowd as ever for the top two teams in the championship, always attracting plenty of youngsters. Many were here, sat on that wall when the gates were opened at 1 o'clock. A little cold, perhaps a little tired, but ready for the action to come. And I think we can promise plenty of action from these two top sides, Wigan and Leeds, two of the most attractive sides in the Rugby League. No one knows better too than Dean Bell the atmosphere here on a big match day at Central Park. A Wigan player for 8 years, now the Leeds coach, and as he explained a little earlier to Richard Duckingfield, quietly confident of a successful return.
Well, welcome back, Dean. Are you feeling lucky, confident, what?
Oh, I'm feeling quietly confident. Obviously, facing the might of Wigan, you still got to have your doubts in your mind, but we're coming off for a streak of 4 good wins, and we're starting to show the character that I'm after.
It's a one-off. You cannot come back and try again next week. It's either do it today or you're out, and we've got to look at it that way. We've got to go out and have a good 40 minutes and then go out and have another good 40 minutes. So, we take it as a one-off.
Hopefully it'll be a tight, entertaining game. That's what I'm after. As long as the guys come off the field knowing they've given their best, that's all I can ask.
Whoever can survive the first 20 minutes and start to get on top will probably come out at the end as winners.
As usual in a cup contest, Wigan come into this match as firm favourites with 4 wins in the last 8 years and 7 wins in all. Leeds have just 2 appearances in a final in the past 8 years, but they do have a 1906 semi-final win over Wigan on their way to that 88 final. All square between the two teams, 4 wins each, and an indication of how close I think this encounter will be. 2 replays needed in 1972 and 1990. On their way to the second semi-final, Wigan enjoyed a couple of comfortable wins there with Whitehaven and Huddersfield. And Leeds in sparkling form on attack, 132 points, but that defence will want tightening up this afternoon. The players a little nervous, led out there by the 2 skippers, Wigan's Sean Edwards and Leeds' Gary Schofield. Wigan in the traditional cherry and white hoops that they've worn for many, many years. Leeds in the new natty shirt design, the quarters, and a stronger bevy of supporters attracted over the M62 to support Leeds, and as usual many in the Wigan colours. Kelvin Skerritt there, powerful prop forward at the back. 2 very, very strong teams. Martin O'Fire and Kelvin Skerritt came through fitness tests on ankle and foot injuries yesterday, and they take their place, and plenty of pace and power in that back row. Quinnell, Cassidy and Horton, 28 tries between them this season. Leeds Kiwi trio, Iro, Kemp and Hall are all missing from Dean Bell's lineup. He continues with the experiment of second row George Mann alongside Schofield at half-back, and he puts a lot of faith in teenage second rows Adrian Morley and Jamie Field. Pitch in perfect condition despite the heavy overnight rain. It really did rain very, very hard and heavy here in southwest Lancashire. And Sean Edwards added another medal to his collection this week, became only the 3rd league player to be awarded the OBE, joining Mal Reilly and of course Gary Schofield, the Leeds captain, who earned the distinction a couple of years ago. Edwards not only creative in play, but a wonderful try scorer and point scorer himself. Gary Schofield in top form this season at scrum half, keen to put a trophy on the sideboard there at Headingley. Stuart Cummins, a witness, the referee. He refereed last season's Regal Trophy final, and I think a good performance today could see him in the bracket for an appearance again at the McAlpine Stadium there next Saturday in Huddersfield. Usual good accompanying roar from the crowd. I have with me, as usual, Terry Flanagan and Steve Sims. Steve, any predictions?
Well, I think probably Wigan will be a little bit too good on the day. Leeds are fielding a lot of young lads. The experience is going to help them a lot, but I just don't think that they're ready today.
Yeah, I think it'll be a close one, Ray, and I think my money's going Leeds' way today.
Regal Trophy semi-final. Wigan and Leeds, the winners, to meet St Helens next Saturday afternoon, again here on Grandstand. This Central Park pitch, the scene of many memorable matches, many memorable tries, and I'm sure we've got one in prospect in the next 80 minutes. They don't come bigger and better than these two teams. Leeds, the pride of Yorkshire, and Wigan, the world champions. A few problems there for Graham Holroyd, perching that ball on the mound of sand, and we're off. And a high kick into the wind. We can see it hovering in that wind there as Henry Paul picks up the ball. And I think that man Henry Paul is going to have quite a say in this match.
Yeah, he's a great player, is Paul. He was awesome in the previous round against Widnes, and Wigan will be looking for a big performance from Paul today.
Wigan then using the forwards to drive in. Old Kelvin's getting it, and lost ball, but no. Referee, Mr Cummins, accusing the Leeds player, possibly there, Barry McDermott, of ball stealing. And Wigan taking a tap.
Yeah, well, they wanted to get on with it quick, Wigan. They feel that they need to play everything quick to keep Leeds on the back foot.
And yet, in a way, I think they do have the advantage of this strong, swirling wind, Steve.
They certainly do. It is a strong wind, and they're on the attack, and I think that's what they need to do. They need to get a lot of points on the board in this first half.
Gary Connolly then, strong, powerful fullback, 45 matches last season. Wigan's ever present and missing only 2 championships. Resilient player. Edwards then here to Quinnell. Quinnell signed from Llanelli 15 months ago, now looking the complete product in rugby league. Cassidy, this time to O'Connor. Come on, away! On the 5th tackle, Sean Edwards electing to run that ball. Up to Paul. That is a testing kick for Holroyd in this wind. It's holding up. Oh, he took that superbly. Well done there by the 20-year-old fullback, Graham Holroyd. Marvin Goulden coming in from the wing to help out.
It's a great take from Graham Holroyd there under pressure. He's got the first one out of the way, and it'll give him a lot of confidence, that catch.
Wigan equally as ferocious in the tackle. There is an example. Martin Hall at number 9, putting the shoulder straight in the midriff. Schofield again making space for Holroyd there. Graham Holroyd at full-back, giving Leeds more options in the kicking stakes. All the pressure then taken off Schofield there. Connolly. I think an interesting selection here, Terry, at half-back. Leeds playing George Mann, a second row forward. We've had problems at half-back in recent years. No days of Lewis Jones there, and Seaborn and Shoebottom.
Yeah, it's Dean Bell and Hugh McGann will be looking for George Mann to straighten the attack, the focal point of the attack up. And George Mann is very good. He's got a good step, and he can be very incisive when given the opportunity.
Well, not much room for the half-backs at the moment as these forwards cut out a testing time, but there is George Mann. Powerful runner. Well, Mr Cummins judged that was ball stealing. I'm not too sure. Skerritt certainly seemed to lose the ball.
This is for holding down. Now Barry McDermott is laying all over, he's not getting off, and now Skerritt was the one that got the penalty before for having the ball stolen off him by Barry McDermott, so that's 2 penalties Barry McDermott now has given away, and he has to settle down. Leeds can't win this game if they're going to give penalties away to Wigan like that.
Barry McDermott, of course, a former Wigan player, and any former player coming back to his own club, always very, very keen to to impress. Perhaps a little too keen there. Gary Schofield just having a word with Mr. Cummins as to the nature of the penalty. I think one or two of us thought it was some ball stealing, but no, he is indicating that it was a lying on.
Interesting, Ray, though, but prior to the holding down incident, Skurrit in fact had lost the ball. The ball had been spilled, and the referee just picked up on the holding down incident.
Henry Paul taken over the kicking duties here from his former Kiwi colleague, Frano Botica, hoping to start the new year over there at Weldon Road at Castleford. And there is Barry McDermott. Sporting, I noticed, this novel idea of tape across the nose, the nostrils, in an attempt to, to give better breathing. The latest gimmick, or what?
Well, I think it may be the latest gimmick. I don't know what tests have been done on it or what the results are, but you see all the American footballers wearing it these days, and now it's coming to our game, and I'd like to see some tests and results on it before everybody starts using it.
Well, first shot there from Henry Paul, but he doesn't trouble the scoreboard operator. Just coming up to 5 minutes gone, still Wigan 0 and Leeds 0. But a dropout on the 20-metre line. Not a bad dropout too. Martin Offiah been troubled recently with a foot injury, but still the leading try scorer. Simon Horton in the loose forward position in the absence of Andy Farrell. Quinnell. This Scott Quinnell, the former Clefley player, Terry, been in outstanding form this last month.
He has. He's really come to the fore. He's got strong direct running, super handling skills, and he's really straightening up the forward attack of Wigan.
Edwards to Paul, trying to launch Twingham Marlin out there, but well looked after. And there we see Offiah in trouble again. Back problem. Another tester for Leeds. Again, Holroyd picked up well. Jim Fallon, former Bath winger. Leeds still trying to clear that 20-metre area. In vain at the moment. Lowe switches nicely on that blind side. Innes, a drop by Golden. A further drop by Henry Paul. But I think he'll take the first knock on. So it's Wigan 0, Leeds 0. Any news down there on the bench, Richard?
Yes, right. Just news from Martin Offiah, who you saw was injured in that tackle a few moments ago. He actually took a knee in the back, and he's obviously hurting quite badly. He's walking it off, and I think that the Wigan bench expect him to be able to regain his fitness and continue in this game.
Penalty there against Horton for not binding in correctly, just putting his head in, not actually binding. The loose forward must be in the scrum. And of course, this is our first match on grandstand under the new laws. No one can strike at the play the ball there. Makes for a cleaner play the ball. Leeds' turn now to press. Jamie Field. Man. Forshaw, another former Wigan player, started his career here. Mike Forshaw. Morley, one of the teenagers I mentioned when we looked at the team sheets from the Eccles Amateur Club. Gary Schofield. Well, that should be another 6 tackles. It is. It was knocked down by the Wigan player Mick Cassidy. Well done there by Francis Cummins. Cummins in the centre then. Just 8 metres then from this Wigan line. Leeds on the attack. Jamie Field driving in, can't quite get there. Well held up there by Horton. Good example there of Horton clamping the ball. He couldn't get the ball away, but it's Leeds moving it well to Georgie Mann. He's got Innes inside him. Innes going for that line. Good tackle from Gary Connolly. Leeds wanting the quick play. James Lowes, Schofield directing operations. Jim Fallon, he's got the power, he's got the weight. He's a yard short. on the 5th tackle. A chance, is he held back? James Lowe's still lost ball. Well, chaos there for Mr. Cumming, but I'm pretty sure that the ball has gone dead, and he's ruling after consultations there with Frank Hanley, the in-goal judge, a drop out under the post. Well, that's a talking point, Terry, no doubt about that.
Yes, it was James Lowe's acting half, just tried to kick through there, bit of a melee, going hard for the ball. O'Connor's in play, and they just forced him over the dead ball line. The referee made the right decision.
All that play was okay. He did make the right decision in the end, but earlier James Lowe's was definitely held back after kicking the ball through from dummy half, which he can do.
And yet again, another instance of what value these in-goal touch judges have been this season.
Certainly have, and they helped the referee to great effect on that occasion.
George Mann then driving in. Leeds still putting on that pressure. Gary Schofield bringing on Holroyd. Holroyd looks for support, finds Cummins there, but again a good tackle by Chris Redlinski. This Wigan defence, very firm. Schofield again electing to run that ball. Forshaw, he's got some space outside. To McDermott, he can't get over. Just look at the number of players there in that cherry and white jersey. 5 of them around McDermott. That's good cover. That's good sliding defence. Martin Hall. Edwards. Good long pass. That opens up some space for Henry Paul. Down there, Redlinski. He's got to fire outside. A real live wire, this number 6 Kiwi international. O'Connor. The tackling been pretty impressive, Steve, so far.
So both teams have, but Wigan they had to defend for 3 sets of 6 tackles, which they did do. Now they've got the ball back. There's a great kick downfield there, but the defence has been on top so far from both teams.
Leeds, one of only 2 teams to beat Wigan this season.
Splendid kick from Hall there. He just saw the Leeds winger just up in play and just put a deep kick in just to relieve the pressure. Splendid kick, Martin Hall.
As we were talking about before, with them kicks, it should be rewarded. I think Fallon had a lot of time to pick that ball up and run it, but he chose because he knows he's going to get the feed and the head in the scrum.
Gary Schofield quite happy with the situation. Schofield, prolific point scorer for Leeds. 738 points for the club. And Leeds, well, they've certainly taken the game to Wigan so far.
Yeah, they certainly did. Wigan started brightly, but Leeds rose to the challenge, and they're playing a very direct game, as we see George Mann here charging up the blind side.
Yes, rather unusual to see George Mann in that standoff role. Normally a second row for, well, international level, both New Zealand and Tonga, but has been working well with Gary Schofield in midfield. James Lowe's, Neil Harmon, Leeds' most consistent forward for me this season. There is Schofield, directing operation. Tremendous battle between Schofield and Edwards, those two there. Well, it came off Golden's head. Gratefully received by Chase and Robinson. But I think we could see once again there that this wind can cause problems.
And can you see Twiggamala? He ended up putting his head down and away from that ball. Wigan need to get underneath any high kicks. You cannot afford to let them bounce. You never know where that ball's going to go.
O'Connor. Edwards again, as Schofield on the opposite side, always at the first receiver, thinking. This time with a good, long, punishing kick to the in-goal area. Now then, Golden's got to play that. He's got to get over that line. He just about does. Holroyd will have to hold. There's no Leeds players back. Good covering there by Twingamala. The Leeds forwards getting back rather slowly. Cummins.
just as we approach the 15-minute mark, Ray. What a splendid game we've got on our hands here. Both sides playing hard, straight, direct rugby, and terrific tackling from both teams as well.
I think Dean Bell, Leeds coach, Steve, will be quite relieved to have got past that first 15-minute mark against Wigan. That is when they're at the most dangerous, isn't it?
It is, and what they've done, Louise, they've controlled the ball good when they've had it. They've had the ball for 6 sets and they've only come up with 1 error so far. They've had a lot of possession and control the ball good, and that's a good kicking game from James Lowe.
Henry Paul then with the head and ball. Edwards and Twingamala doing a dummy run around there, but Twingamala well looked after. Leeds certainly will have to look at this big Western Samoan centre. Been very dangerous in Wigan's run to the top of the Centenary Championship. Henry Paul. Skerrett. Gary Schofield did well then to get between Skerrett and Hall, stop the flow of the movement. Edwards looking to the short side, doubling back. O'Connor. That's a good tackle. Good tackle from Morley, the young teenager. Sean Edwards again with a high one. Not a lot of distance. Oh, never let a ball bounce. Knock on. Well, Craig Innes appealing to the referee, Mr. Cummins, but it will be Leeds ball. The old adage, never take your eye off the ball, never let a ball bounce. Anything can happen to it. They did, but thankfully for the Yorkshire men, Wigan knocked on. And Leeds taking advantage of that blind side there now. Of course, again, one of the new rules in rugby league, the new adaptations. Scrum's now taken 20 metres in there and not 10, giving more chance, I think, for moves down that blind side, Steve.
It does. What seems to be happening, Ray, with the extra 10 metres there on the blind side, is that most teams are attacking that side first up from the scrum.
Neil Harmon. Good battle between these two packs. A lot of power. Wigan, as we saw earlier on, with the heavier pack, but some very strong men in these lead ranks. Innes, Golden. Well, did well to get away from Twingamala, but Cassidy came in. Cassidy, one of the top tacklers in this Wigan outfit, almost 1,000 last season.
There's good ball movement from Leeds then. Schofield had the backs out deep, good long ball, but no one actually went forward. They were always standing flat-footed, and as you see there, Gary Schofield, good kicking game he's got, and he just drives Wigan back in their own half. Both
Schofield and Sean Edwards shown they're not afraid to kick the ball in this match, Terry.
No, they're both putting some deft kicks in. It's noticeable with Schofield though, on the Leeds side. They're making the ball go out of play, therefore containing Wigan, not letting them have free ball, as it were. And they must be that was behind the game plan.
Oh, that was good play by Medlinski. A fire, he's away, he's not got a clear field. Oh, good cover back by Jamie Field, but it'll be adjudged a high tackle. Referee Mr. Cummins quite happy just to award a penalty. I don't think anything really malicious in this tackle. O'Fire trying to get away as Field comes across here. He's tracked by Fallon just at the back of O'Fire. But again, it's a high tackle.
It looked pretty harmless. As soon as it come off his shoulder, as you say, it was a high tackle, and Wigan get another penalty. That's the third for the game.
Any tackle above the shoulders, whether malicious or not, it's a penalty. Youthful impetuousness. Scott Quinnell, probably one of the biggest forwards on the field. Nice switch again by Edwards. Good angles of running by these Wigan forwards. Henry Paul. Oh, almost slices through. He has this habit, Henry Paul, of twisting in the tackle, escaping the clutches, and that was a bad play of the ball. Henry Paul appeals to the touch judge, but Mr. Cummins says to Henry, "Don't blame me. You lost the ball," and I think he did, Terry.
Yes, Henry Paul here. Schofield came in and gave him a little slap round the face, and he just lost it at the last minute. He's trying to play the ball quickly, in fact.
Mr. Cummings not happy with that. The ball coming straight out of the tunnel. Jim Fallon.
This is a critical stage of the game for Leeds, because it just looks as though Wigan are beginning to shade them. They've seen that on the bench. They're not happy with the Leeds kicking game. They need that sorted out. They want to play Wigan in the Wigan half, and they've told the forwards that they've got to run more directly and stress discipline. So it'll be interesting to see how Leeds respond to that.
And that, I think, is the first mistake in handling from Leeds.
So the territorial advantage there, 63% to Wigan, 37 to Leeds.
And yet Wigan haven't made the best use of it, Steve.
They haven't, but they're still working away. It's a game where you just can't rush it. You just got to take your time and wait.
And why did I speak? There is the first try. They have made good use of it. It's Martin Hall there, the hooker. It was Sean Edwards who flicked that pass inside to him. And Hall, well, with the nimbleness of a halfback, shot through there. A good try. Wigan in the lead, 4-0. A gap in the defence, and you can't do that with this man Edwards about.
Yes, Edwards, the maestro, just switched the ball back inside. No cover defence, but Hall just shows what a good player he is with a super step and a great try.
As we were just talking, Wigan will just wait. They'll just wait for their chance. Here it is. The opportunity's come now. Great inside ball by Edwards to Martin Hall, and the elation, he's just elated here. It's a great try under the post, and it's a 6-pointer that.
I'm interested to see you say Wigan waiting. In his programme notes, Graham West says in today's programme that the team must wait patiently for that chance.
It's an 80-minute game, and I think some teams get carried away where they try to score off every play, or try to score in the first minute or the second minute, where it doesn't matter when you score. If it takes you 79th minute to score a try and you win the game, that's what matters the most.
Yeah, that's it's called patience, Steve, and these tight games in the modern game of ours, the side that is patient does come out on top.
Henry Paul then with the attempted conversion, a formality, so 2 further points from that kick from Henry Paul, and Wigan in the lead at 6 points to 0.
Magical play from Edwards, back inside, poor marker defence from Leeds, but Hall steps off his left foot, splendid play and a great first opener.
You'll have a look here. Great vision from Sean Edwards. See that the markers are lazy. They haven't come across to cover Hall. Barry McDermott a little bit lazy. Now Hall, good step, beats Holroyd. Gary Schofield just can't get there in time, and it's under the sticks.
Wigan, of course, the holders of this Regal trophy, and 7 times winners, and in no mood to give it up. Leeds then now looking to get points on the scoreboard. Out to George Mann.
And that try by Martin Hall was the second piece of good news that Wigan have had from Martin Hall today. He was signed to go to play in Australia with the ARL after the centenary season. The ARL have been unable to place him with the side there, so that it looks as though he will be playing for Wigan in the Super League later in the year.
Well, I'm sure that's good news not only for Wigan, but also I think for Great Britain and the England, or well, Wales teams in Martin's case. Jason Robinson. Harvey Howard limbering up. Cassidy.
They've been playing nearly 23 minutes now, this game. Wigan have had the ball 10 times. This is the 10th time they've had it in a set of 6, and they've made 1 error. Leeds have had it 8 and made 2 errors.
Hall again coming away from that acting half-back position, putting pressure down the middle on Leeds, on the 5th tackle. Gary Connolly, a good dummy. And a teasing kick for Golden. It goes past him. Now then, here's a chance. Oh, Henry Paul picks it up. And the try under the post. And suddenly, Wigan are on top. A teasing, tempting kick there Golden couldn't quite pick it up. It went beyond him. And Henry Paul was lurking, loitering with intent out there. Good hands, he picked it up. 4 points.
Now this isn't the best kick in the world here. Now they should have had it covered, Leeds. Golden comes across, bends down. Holroyd in two minds. They should have dived on the ball there, covered the ball up, got up and played it. Instead they hesitated. Henry Paul comes up, ever present, scores under the post. Another 6 points to Wigan.
Yeah, Gary Connolly will tell us this was a superbly judged kick, but I'm not so sure. But hesitancy in the Leeds defence, and that man Paul, we spoke about his importance to this Wigan side. He just calmly collects that, and vision, sees no cover, and just accelerates across the in-goal area to make the conversion so much easier. Great try, Henry Paul.
And Henry Paul looking for a further 2 points, and he finds them. So Henry Paul, as we indicated, a key figure in this Regal Trophy semi-final, collecting the points, and Wigan in the lead by 12 points to 0.
You'll have a look.
I really do think, I think that this was not a bad kick. It was a tempter, it tested them, and what I see here is the way Henry Paul picks that ball up, the sheer confidence of the lad. If that had been me, Steve, I'd been frightened to death. I would have kicked it over the line.
He's come up with another mistake, Golden now. The Ray, you must dive on the football. If it's near you, you don't bother about bending down, doing anything fancy. Just dive on it. It's your football. They had 6 tackles if he dives on it.
Well, this lad, Marvin Golden, he's only a youngster. This is probably the biggest game that he's been in to date. He'll learn, he'll come back, there's plenty of time.
And the thing is, Ray, he's probably caught that ball thousands of times in training, and I'm sure he's a bit disappointed, but still an outstanding player nevertheless.
Harvey Howard, as we thought, coming on the field for Barry McDermott. But it's still relentless Wigan pressure on this Leeds line. Scott Quinnell launching himself down the middle there. A very powerful Welshman to put down. Takes 2 men there. Sean Edwards. Paul. Skerrett. Well picked up by Neil Harmon and Harvey Howard there. Read that situation well. But again, it's Edwards always at the hub of things here. Passing, kicking, running himself. And Edwards this time at acting half-back. Martin Hall with an attempted drop. Charged down by Schofield. Play on. Another 6 tackles. It was a good charge by Gary Schofield, but it gives Wigan more chances. Jason Robinson going for that line. Oh, and Jason Robinson just a foot short. All again to Edwards, switching it to Quinnell. The big, powerful Welshman going, driving there, but again short. Good defence from Leeds. Well, he lost that, a knock-on. Good defence there from Leeds.
Yeah, tenacious tackling. That will air them well for later in the game, because they have to get their defence back in order. And on that occasion, they were strong to the Wigan challenge.
I think if they had had a look at the side there, the left-hand side, Leeds' left-hand side, Wigan, they had no players whatsoever, and they decided to run from dummy half.
Golden. Well, receiving some attention around the head from Henry Paul. George Mann. But this Wigan back row of Horton, Quinnell and Cassidy. There's Horton again, moving across this pitch very, very quickly. Good tackling, Forshaw taking a knock to the back. Harvey Howard, a prop forward with an extra turn of speed. Started life as a youngster on the wing. Gary Schofield again, trying to put Wigan back in their own half. This is where Leeds have got to play, Terry, isn't it?
Yes, they've got to get some possession in Wigan territory, put Wigan on the back foot, and show some of that enterprising skill we saw in the first 5 minutes, because at that point they were looking outstanding.
Connor doing well to take that ball. Horton Again, one of the many teenagers coming into the game these days. Sean Edwards, with a well-rehearsed kick for Radlinski. He's got a fire outside him, but he says no. I'll have the try myself. Oh, that was sweet. That has been worked many, many times in training, and it came off. Perfectly judged kick from Sean Edwards. The youngster Radlinski raced onto the ball, timed his approach right. He had Martin O'Fire alongside him, but the confidence of this Wigan centre, he wanted the try.
We saw Edwards here bringing that super kick of his in, just 2 passes out wide, and Radlinski, he was gathering his momentum prior to the kick, and he just fielded a great bounce to go for a splendid try.
You see, it's great work from Sean Edwards here. He just never all of a sudden kicked this ball. Radlinski come from a long way from the other side of the park. He'd seen it before, seen that Leeds, you got no cover defence, put a little tip over the top, and a great try.
Chris Radlinski, one of the many teenagers that I was talking about, came through the academy ranks here at Wigan, introduced into the first team last season, and become now a regular and permanent fixture.
A feature of the kick from Edwards, Ray, was that he seemed to kick it underneath the ball, which invariably makes the ball spin back on itself when it hits the ground, and that helps the on-rush kicker. That was a splendid kick from Edwards, like a chip in golfing terms, perhaps.
I never knew you were such a technical kicker, Terry, as a hooker. Anyway, there is a good kicker, Henry Paul, straight between the uprights. Another conversion alongside Paul's name on the score chart, and Wigan move out ominously, don't they? 18 points to 0 here at Central Park.
A splendid kick from Edwards, as we said, but Radlinski, good vision, no panicking, super bounce for him, I must say, but he just stepped into the gap for a splendid try.
And again, for viewers who have not seen the new rules under operation, the side that has scored the try now kicks off. Side.
It's a penalty for the markers not standing squarely behind each other. They were side by side, they must stand directly behind each other.
Mike Forshaw, the Leeds loose forward, back on the bench. He took, as you probably saw, a knee in the back in the tackle, and he was obviously feeling some considerable discomfort because of that, so he's off.
So a further problem for Leeds with Forshaw off, but no doubt about it, the youngster who has come on the field, Shaw. Here we see him there as acting half-back. He is a very, very lively customer, and doesn't that tell the tale there, Terry?
It does, because after an impetuous start, Wigan have dominated the majority of this first stanza, and to be honest, they're looking back to their awesome best.
Nice man. Holroyd. Schofield trying the little chip kick, a leaf out of Edwards' book, but that should be back to one. It is another 6 tackles. Wigan made an attempt to play the ball. Jamie Field to Morley. Good driving runs by these youngsters. Shaw, and there he is going away from that acting half-back position. He likes to do that, this youngster. Lowe's, Leeds desperate for a try. Harmon coming across at an angle, shrugged off Edwards. Connolly holds him up. Holroyd, Schofield, Craig Innes can't get past his former All Black partner Trigger Marlon, and aided there by Robinson. Well, the thought was right, but the execution was not.
There's poor kick there, dead in goal. We can get the ball back on the 22. Gary could have taken them on then, had a lot of options, could have run it, could have put a little kick in the in-goal area along the ground, tackle Wigan in the in-goal area, they get the ball back from a goal line dropout. Instead, makes the ball dead in goal, easy times for Wigan with the 22 tap.
O'Connor. Well, Mr. Cummins had only just remarked to Shaw that he was standing in an offside position. He really did tell him to get back, and so Leeds really have only got themselves to blame. Another offside decision.
And the Wigan bench keeping their eye on two of their players. Kelvin Skerritt was very slow getting up from behind the post. He's got an injury. It looks like a hip injury in Kelvin Skerritt's case. And also Simon Horton. They've been having a word with Simon Horton, who's hurt his neck. So two players in the Wigan ranks they're keeping an eye on.
And there is Scott Quinnell racing through. He's got Sean Edwards. Edwards dancing, weaving, dodging there. And it's Leeds backpedaling again. And that is the kick through. Well, a yellow card to Gary Schofield. Interference at the play the ball, kicking through. That is not allowed now. That's one of the new rulings that came in less than a month ago. I think Gary forgot himself there.
Well, I don't know whether he forgot, but it's been classed as a professional foul, and he has got 10 minutes in the sin bin. But it's a penalty, but Wigan did score a try out of it.
Yeah, Schofield, he'd probably been doing this tactic since he was a 5-year-old, Ray. But the new rules dictate that it's outlawed. So the Leeds captain takes a 10-minute rest, and that could prove significant.
Yep, a couple of these rules, Terry, brought in to clean up around that play the ball area. And of course, we should remind viewers that the man in possession cannot now tap the ball and play it to himself.
That's right. They are designed to tidy the things up, and we have seen from time to time messy areas, but many a player has had a skill in there, and Schofield used to be a great exponent of the kick through and drawback.
Well, Henry Paul not too bothered about the implications of the new rules. He just gratefully adds another 2 points, and Leeds now in serious trouble. 20-0 for Wigan, and of course Leeds now with only 12 men.
You'll have a look here, Gary. Whether he forgot or not, he's kicked the ball through. That's a definite penalty, and we can get the 2 points out of it.
A lot of people do feel that we are taking the unexpectedness out of not being able to strike at the play the ball. It is a 50-50 decision, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, because many a time teams have turned games by virtue of the opportunistic steal of the ball at the play of the ball by a kick through or a rake back, and interesting just to see just what effect it has.
A lot of character and a lot of courage called for in this Leeds side now. One man down, Schofield, the motivator, the creator in midfield, off the field for 10 minutes in the sin bin. George Mann. Ennis. James Lowes. Holroyd looking to bamboozle Fire, but he doesn't. And a good run by Fire. Well, he didn't get anywhere in the end. Robinson. And again, James Lowes and especially Jamie Field interfering at the play the ball.
We just saw a little bit of over-tenacious tackling. It was sort of coming a couple of tackles before, and they were just too over-exuberant on Robinson there.
Mr. Cummins having a word with the youngster Field about the tackling around the head.
I think that's now 6 penalties conceded, Leeds, and two conceded by Leeds. But Wigan seem to be on top in that area. Leeds have to cut out giving these penalties away. Wigan are good enough to win without getting an advantage.
You concede penalties though, Terry, when you become frustrated, don't you?
It certainly does, and having started brightly, they've just seen the game slip into Wigan's grasp, and that's part of that frustration.
Simon Horton. Edwards using Quinnell as a dummy there, brings in Twingamala. Not seen a lot of Twingamala so far, but one sudden powerful burst from him could produce a try. Horton. James Lowe's there, number 9 for Leeds, doing an awful lot of work in defence, a lot of tackling. Sean Edwards, oh, that was a good kick. He flicked it back, well read by Holroyd. Fallon. This Wigan pack of forwards working very, very hard in defence, Terry.
Yeah, the whole side have tackled well. If you recall early in the half, that's splendid Leeds pressure, and they stood firm, and throughout the half they've just tackled very, very well.
George Mann has been hanging out there on the left, looking for a break. It's not quite come yet. Field, nice pass inside to Shaw. Shaw making space, making room, gets that ball away well to Lowe's. This is better from Leeds. Holroyd to Morley. And a high tackle given by Mr. Cummins. Quite sensibly, he allowed advantage, he allowed Leeds to play on with the ball. Then when no advantage came, he gave the penalty. Good refereeing there by Mr. Cummins. Howard. Lowe's. Harmon. Oh, ball stealing. Simon Horton.
Yeah, I think he wasn't happy about them being onside as well, though, Mr. Cummins. But we see here Harmon, who's had a solid half, just tried to release the ball.
Did he steal it? I don't think he did. He tried to release it, didn't he? But certainly Horton was there or thereabouts. So Leeds now looking for a try just before that half-time hooter. Lowe's. George Mann. Oh! Gets it to Robinson. He had 2 men outside him, and George Mann, he really needed to run another yard or 2 to put Robinson on the back foot. A pass was given too early, and Wigan come away with the ball. Possibly a chance gone begging there. Knock on by Henry Paul. A little too eager to get into the game. Graham West, the big, tall Wigan coach, former Kiwi international himself, he must be well pleased with this opening 40 minutes.
This half so far, Wigan have had the football for 18 sets of 6 and made 2 mistakes. Leeds have only had it for 18 sets of 6 and made 4 mistakes.
Allen, well taken by Martin Afire. Afire spotted the danger, came in to the big man. He's a 15.5 stone wing, is Fallon. And Afire in there again. Well, wingmen shouldn't be tangling with forwards. Hugh McGann and Dean Bell there, obviously concerned, but one wonders what they can do about it. But spirited fight back here from Leeds, still with only 12 men. Dean Bell knows all about the atmosphere here at Central Park. Howard, good pass to Holroyd, that's opened up play with Golden. That's a better run from the youngster there, that will give him confidence. Oh, well taken. Radlinski did well to get down there. Holroyd and Morley were coming on hand. Good run out of defence there by Quinnell. And there is the hooter. I don't think the players or myself heard it in the din, but a tremendous performance by Wigan. This man Hall at the hub of things, going in for that first try. He set the tone of the first half, and of course Henry Paul, as we said there, in at half-back, in everything. Wigan 20, Leeds. Yes, back here at Central Park. That score line just shows what problems Leeds have got, Steve, doesn't it?
They've got problems. They're still at 5 minutes or so without Gary Schofield, and they need to score first and score quick to get back in this game.
Terry, what can they do?
Well, they need to get us some scores on the doors early in this half, and really maintain their aggression. The maestro's off the field at the moment, but it should be an interesting half.
Harvey Howard. Oh, good run by Howard. Well, he looked for support twice there and he couldn't find it. And there we see Martin Dermott on for Kelvin Skerritt. Dermott, a Great Britain hooker.
It doesn't look as though the Wigan forward Kelvin Skerritt will be able to play any further part in this game. He's got a muscle tear on the left-hand side of his torso, just underneath his rib cage. So Kelvin Skerritt's back on the Wigan bench, probably taking no further part.
You see a great kick in from Holroyd. Now Martin Lafayette looked like he had it, and as soon as he's tackled, it's popped out of his arms, and Leeds are going to get the feed of the scrum here.
Yeah, Jem Fallon was in attendance, and he just got hold of a fire, and the ball went into touch.
So a chance for Leeds to make an early strike in this half. Holroyd moved into the stand-off position. Craig Innes trying to use Francis Cummins there as a foil. George Mann. Good run. Just edging into that 20-metre area. Lowe's. Howard. Holroyd. Well, he tried to get the ball away. But a knock on. I think Simon Horton trying to claim a charge down. But it wasn't. It was a knock on.
You see Graham Holroyd just tries to push it past there on an early tackle. It probably wasn't necessary, but they're going to come up with the ball anyway.
James Lowes once again using that 20-metre area down that blind side to Golden, but well read there by Edwards. Sean Edwards coming across at standoff in a sweeper roll, took out the wingman. Jamie Field, Schofield just with a couple more minutes remaining on that bench in the sin bin. Harvey Howard, and a try to Leeds really would pep them up. Shaw. Desperate defence here by Wigan. Oh, here's a chance. Can Harmon get the ball down? No, he can't. But that was a good effort from the Leeds forwards. They've certainly put some fire, and it looks as if Dean Bell has had a word with them.
He certainly has, and their attack with Schofield back in the fray now. You saw Harmon here over the line, but that man Edwards turns him in the tackle, and a great play by. He put his knees underneath there. Great play, Edwards.
Great strength from Sean Edwards to hold a prop forward up there, but it still leads on the attack. Craig Innes, the long pass to Fallon. Fallon into touch. No hesitation there. Touch Tony Brown, puts his flag up in the air. Jim Fallon not very happy with that. He knows that Leeds have lost a chance. He lost the ball. Head and ball to Wigan.
They desperately needed to score there, Leeds. They've had the first set of 6 tackles to Leeds, and they needed some points.
And an interesting move there. Henry Paul, a standoff, went into the loose ball position. Scott Quinnell went to the standoff just to make room. And here's one man making room. The sliding goal to Wingamala. Cuts inside. He's looking for support now. Edwards is there. Martin Affire's there. Oh, that was quick thinking by Sean Edwards. To the kick. Can Afire get there? No, he just misses it. And has he damaged that side again? I think he has. But that was tremendous thinking by that man Edwards.
You see Twiggamala here, powerhouse, finds Edwards. Edwards looks, sees the kicks on. Afire's coming through. Now Gary Schofield kicked the ball dead there. He's ruled that Martin Afire has. He's given Leeds a 22-metre tap.
But in a split second, Edwards changed his mind.
Yes, it was a splendid break from Twiggamala. We haven't seen much of him in the first half, and I'm sure Leeds were pleased with that. But Edwards was in support, and brilliant quick thinking from Edwards nearly produced a try.
And Martin Afire looks to be back in the action. Gary Schofield again employing the chip kick, but well covered by Connolly. Twiggamala has actually slimmed down since he arrived, would you believe it? But still a healthy 17 stone. Simon Horton. A crucial time for Leeds, Terry, this next 10 minutes. If Wigan score again, problem.
Yes, it is crucial, and it's interesting to see how this Wigan attack is remodified itself with Martin Dermott, who's a hooker, on alongside Martin Hall.
Quinnell, he likes to charge from that first receiver position. Running from deep as the Welshman. Edwards to Paul. Paul's got Radlinski outside him. Oh, Paul's made space for himself. The pass inside. Connolly takes it. And he scores. I thought for 1 minute Gary Connolly was not going to take that pass. It was a little hard thrown inside to him. But Connolly, his 14th of the season. It's Christmas again for those Wigan fans. 24-0. Piling on the trouble for the Yorkshireman.
See again, Sean Edwards, clever play. It's last tackle. Leeds are expecting the kick. They're not going to kick it, Wigan. They're going to run it. Henry Paul comes inside George's man. Offloads now. Good control here from Gary Connolly and scores a try.
That man, Henry Paul, we just saw him here field the ball. Quick step inside and then accelerate away from man. Man can't hold this fella. Strong hand off half there and a great vision and a splendid pass. Bit of juggling by Connolly, but a splendid try there from Wigan.
He certainly is elusive as this Kiwi standoff for Wigan, Henry Paul. Two more points. Nonchalantly done by Paul. 26-0 for Wigan.
You'll have a look. Great inside ball from Henry Paul. Gary Connolly was shouting out to him, letting him know he was there. Juggles it a little bit. At the end of the day, Gary Connolly, good positioning, good backing up, and a fine try.
Schofield. Oh, Schofield lost the ball, but it went backwards. And here I think we see one of the advantages of this new kick-out law, Terry, that, you know, a side that is up against it receive possession.
That's right, and it is an opportunity to get themselves together, but the team that has just scored is also in ebullient mood, and their tackling is often quite strong when they've just scored.
There's another penalty there for striking the ball at the play the ball area there. Wigan had a strike at the ball.
Lowe's. Oh, misunderstanding there. Wigan moving in very, very quickly. Penalties evened up now.
Yeah, the Wigan side have led a few in this half, and as I said, that was Leeds' downfall early in the first half, I felt.
Well, Leeds had conceded 6 penalties early in the game, and it's only late in the second half and late in the first half and early this half that Wigan have conceded some.
All right, to Innes. Innes just can't quite get away there from Swingamala. They were once partners for New Zealand and the All Blacks. Here, opponents. George Mann. All right, neat little chip through, a race between himself and Quinnell. Gary Connolly's there. Very secure at full-back is the Great Britain full-back, number 1, Connolly. Part of the fire. I think the Wigan fans would like nothing more than to see a spectacular from him. Edwards, Paul again. Yes, Robinson. It's like one of those little clockwork toys that you wind up, put on top of the table and let it run, Terry.
He is, he's very elusive, Ray. Words like slippery come to mind, and we saw him there. He just couldn't put him down, and he's great balance of power and step. Great player, Jason Robinson.
He's certainly some player. Terry O'Connor. Edwards. Switching again, using Gary Connolly. Plenty of time for Connolly to put that kick in. Easily picked up though by Fallon. Oh, and a good run by Fallon, straight through Radlinski. He's got Hall coming across. That's a good tackle, good cover tackle there from the hooker. Well, no one behind him, and of course he has to play the ball under the new rules. He cannot play it to himself. Connolly. Paul. Quick thinking here by Wigan. Oh, nice reverse pass by Twingamala. O'Connor. Wigan using the forwards, sucking in the Leeds forwards and then driving it out wide to people here like Paul Redlinski. He's got a fire now then, a chance for a fire on that outside. Good tackle. Good tackle by Francis Cummins. Quinnell driving himself on the 5th tackle. Edwards running it again. Finding Connolly. Using Trigamala as a decoy. Robinson. Oh, Robinson's got Leeds run ragged, and Robinson is over for yet another try. That was adventurous play by Wigan again. It was Edwards opening out play on that 5th tackle. Leeds once again expecting the kick, perhaps standing back a little out wide. And when you give Trigamala and Robinson space, it spells danger.
You see here, last tackle again, Sean Edwards, I'll run it, Gary Connolly all the time in the world. Leeds haven't moved up quick enough. They're sliding sideways, but they're not sliding forward. You must come forward in defence. Now Jason Robinson just bamboozles them with his footwork, and a great try.
Splendid pass from Edwards, cut-out pass, 25 yards. Connolly teasing the defence. Trigamala, but then this guy just hits the accelerator and just powers away, puffing cheeks, looking where he's going, step off the left, but then he still had to score. A great try.
Yes, and he's not only fast as Robinson, but he really is a stronger player.
Powerful legs.
Adds the conversion, and Wigan move out yet again. Another 6 points. 32-0.
We spoke about Robinson's abilities, and here a great example. Step off the left. Golden, who's a strong player, comes in from the side, but look at him, he's still driving hard, and a great try.
Steve, all the talk in the past 48 hours has been that amazing 80 points to nil win by St Helens. Do you think Wigan have said to themselves, look, anything our derby rivals can do, we can do?
Certainly, they would have taken the challenge up Wigan. They'd have spoke about that since Thursday. They'd have to have a good showing today to remain favourites for next week's final. Right, just something on before. When Jim Fallon played the football, he played it back to nobody. Then for the next 5 tackles, he stayed on the Wigan's 22, tying his shoelace up. I'm sure Dean Bell wouldn't have been too thrilled about that, having one of his players out of his defensive line.
And of course Jim Fallon could have actually played the ball behind him and then turned around to pick it up.
Yep, he could have turned around and picked the ball up.
Well, it's a fast game, it's a furious game, and players, well, tend to forget. Connolly on the outside there now. Good burst down this far side, but a good covering tackle there by Francis Cummins. Cummins having a lot of work to do there on that right wing.
The difference in the two teams here, Ray, is that Leeds have had the football for 9 sets to 6, lost it twice. Wigan have only had it 4 times. This is the 5th time they've had it and scored 2 tries.
I think that says to me they're a good side, Steve.
Exactly right. They know what to do when they've got the football, but also know what to do when they haven't got the football. Their defence has been superb.
And these Wigan forwards driving from depth, taking the ball from 10 metres away. Here's one now. Just look at him go. Scott Quinnell, oh, like a runaway train. Driving in there. Tremendous power. Edwards deploying the kick for Trigamala. Can't quite take it. Picked up well there by Morley. He's got support outside. Did well there, the Leeds second row. Fallon battling with a fire. Back to Shaw.
Big Shaw, his legs pump 100 mile an hour for that first 10 yards.
Holding down at the tackle. And I think we could have a blood bin here. Chris Redlinski being called out. Yes, taking a knock to the mouth. I'm sure they'll have the sponge round that. And number 14, Rob Smythe coming on, the hero of that extra time win at Widnes when he picked up a couple of tries. The doctor there just having a look at the lip. Harvey Howard, he's made some strong plunging runs since his arrival on the field.
He's had a good game, Ray. He's been very straight and very direct and very powerful.
James Lowes. Martin Dermott there appealing for a knock-on. Not given by the referee. Leeds then looking for some consolation. Schofield to Holroyd. Schofield again. Shaw, those legs pumping away. He certainly goes away very, very quickly from that acting half-back position. George Mann to Lowes. Good defence there by Wigan. And still Wigan line holding. Holroyd having a go himself, turns it inside. Well taken there by Neil Harmon. That was a good take from the prop. Good consolation try there from the Yorkshireman. They plugged away on that line. It was a nice slip pass inside from Holroyd. And certainly Neil Harmon deserves that.
Yeah, good play from Leeds. At last they breached the Wigan line. Holroyd straightens up very well and a splendid ball inside. A little bit of a blind pass, but Harmon was on hand to score. He's picked a few tries up this year.
You see here, it's good vision. Wigan only had 3 defensive players from the goalpost to their touchline. Leeds seen that, took the opportunity. Gary Connolly, who I think now has moved into centres because Redlinski was on that side. He was defending that side, and that's the side that Leeds have scored the try.
Well, I think if you've got a sliding defence going across quickly like that, if you can turn the ball back inside, Steve, it's always dangerous, isn't it?
It is. As I say, Wigan's defence was shot there. From the goalpost to the touchline, they only had 3 defenders. Sean Edwards seen it, he come late, but it was too late to adjust.
Graham Holroyd taking the kick. And successful with it. It just went in. Holroyd not had much success this year, in fact done very little of the kicking, but 32 points to 6.
At last we see Leeds coming back into the game with a splendid try. Holroyd straightens up into the gap, great pass inside, no defence coming across, and Neil Harmon in for a try.
And Graham Holroyd here, not the regular kicker this season. It has been Paul Cook, who's now transferred to Bradford, but the top kicker in 94-95. Not lost his touch.
And the story of Wigan's Chris Radlinski, who's off in the blood bin, is that he was examined by the Wigan doctor, Dr. Zaman. One of his lower teeth has gone through his lip and has caused quite a nasty injury there, so he's been taken off to have it sealed off, have it stitched. Rob Smythe has gone on for Radlinski, ought to be okay. He'd been warming up in case he had to go on for miles in a fire, so he finds himself on himself for Chris Radlinski.
Well, Wigan may have their injury problems, but they've no problems with this 13 on the field. Simon Horton racing in here on the 5th tackle. Edwards using that switch again, this time to O'Connor, to Igamala. Still Wigan keep that ball going, and Henry Paul cheekily, well, Jason Robinson rather, cheekily tries to drop a goal to no effect. Well, he's in everything this afternoon, this wingman.
He has. He's everything he's done has been electric, and but not on that occasion. The ball just went to the left of the post.
A little bit lost for ideas there, Wigan. Then they had a lot of opportunities, to run the ball, kick the ball. They tried to run around in circles. In the end, Jason Robinson went for a drop goal, which failed.
I thought they switched it back to their error, Steve. The attack was on the other side, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. They come the wrong way and found Terry O'Connor there, found a front rower there.
Jason Robinson, of course, in midfield there because he has moved into the centre position. The absence of Radlinski. And Shaw coming through again. Well, this hooker, he's got the pace of a half-back. He certainly puts pressure on Wigan round this hatching half-back area. And I'm sure the St Helens coach, Eric Hughes, who if he's watching that, will want to employ similar tactics. If there is a weakness there, well, there does seem to be one there, Steve.
And St Helens has certainly got the play to capitalise on that in Kieran Cunningham, one of the best dummy half runners in the game.
And here to Leeds again, Gary Schofield. puts that long pass out, ball is there. Oh, he can't get the ball away, but James Lowe picks it up. Connolly just holds him up. Strength there from Gary Connolly. But Leeds still piling on the pressure. Great effort from the Yorkshiremen. Many a team would have just faded away, but no, they've come back into this game. They're looking for more points. Schofield out to George Mann. Mann battling with Twingamala. And Twingamala winning the battle. Not the best of passes. Holroyd. It's a knock down, picked up by Fallon. That should be another 6 again. And there is someone behind Jim Fallon this time. Lowe's to Howard. Can't quite get that ball away.
Leeds is showing some of the character that their coach Steve Bell was talking about before the game.
This is the sort of character that they've shown in their last 3 or 4 matches. Holroyd again, coming more and more into the game. A kick, a little speculative, a little long, and no try. But well worth the effort, the youngster thinking, Terry.
Yeah, he's a good player, he's all right, but it was a sort of a kick for himself rather than a kick for the team there. They were just lacking a little bit of ideas at the last minute.
They've had plenty of possession now, Leeds. They've had 14 sets of 6 tackles compared to Wigan's 6 sets of 6 tackles.
Wigan have made the use of it, haven't they?
They have. Well, they've scored 2 tries to 1 in this half, Wigan, and had less than half of the football.
Wigan then now in possession. Scott Quinnell again. And I must say, Terry, you know, as an ex-forward yourself, well, we just break off. Look at those tackles there. Surprisingly, Wigan, 123 tackles made.
Yeah, well, it's with this Leeds possession that, Leeds, to their credit, have been battling hard up the middle, and the Wigan team has tackled very well today, and that is depicted in the 1-2-3 there.
Golden. Tackles indicate there about the sets of 6 that you were saying, Steve, that Wigan really have had to defend.
They have, especially this half. They've had hardly any possession, and they've defended superbly, and that's what this game's all about. The team that works hard in defence will normally win the game.
And the possession as well.
Yeah, the 56% just indicates the shading of amount of ball that Leeds have had, but the big statistic is Wigan 32, Leeds 6.
What you do with the ball, and Wigan have proved superior so far, but Schofield still looking to put some points on the board. George Mann again, I think, employing that chip kick a little too far. Spy did well there to pick that ball up. Gary Connolly now, he spots a gap. He's got Holroyd, he's got Sean Edwards on his inside, but he's going himself. Oh, he turned Holroyd inside. Once Holroyd showed him that shoulder, showed him his back, Gary Connolly was away. You cannot turn your back on a player when he's coming at you. Graham Holroyd just edged away with the shoulder. Connolly spotted it. He had the advantage, and that was a superb try.
Your kick is only as good as your chase. George Mann, little chip over the top. He misses. There's a big gap here. Scattered line. One player up, one player back, leaving big holes in the defensive line. There's support from Sean Edwards, but Gary Connolly doesn't need it. Beats Graham Holroyd easily and scores under the post for another 6-pointer.
Yes, we didn't see too much of Gary Connolly in the first half, but Leeds have seen enough of him in this try. He just hit the gap, hit the pace, and he's determined, and a splendid try there from Connolly.
Well, Gary Connolly a little out of breath. But Henry Paul isn't. Had a comfortable time with his conversions, most of the tries underneath the posts. No problems for a kicker of this lad's stature. So, out of the blue there, when Leeds were attacking, when George Mann tried to put the pressure on Wigan, it rebounded, and it's back to 38 points to 6.
You see again here, great ball from Smythe to Connolly. Yeah, finds the hole. There's no, the defence hasn't moved up in a straight line. Now Connolly, just sheer change of pace there to get round Holroyd. And one of many Wigan players that can run 60, 70 metres and score a try.
Leeds with just less than 15 minutes remaining to add to that scoreline. Neil Harmon on the sidelines. Oh, that led with an elbow there. Harvey Howard lucky to get away with that. And Barry McDermott back on the field for Neil Harmon. There is Howard again. Aggressive is a word you could use.
I think Wigan are a little upset on the elbow that he may have used earlier on in the tackle before. But he certainly looked for plenty of work, Howard, since he's been on.
Well, Jim Fallon trying to get away down that far side, but again well looked after by the Wigan cover. Looked after a little bit too much, holding down. So another 6 tackles for Leeds. Holroyd. Long floating one to George Mann. Similar pass to Golden. McDermott. Oh, if he could pick up a try against his old team, he'd be happy. But he doesn't. Not on.
There's a card coming out of his pocket. I think he's sending someone to the sin bin here. Gary Connolly's off to the sin bin.
Well, deliberately pulling away at his leg, interfering once again at the play of the ball. So it's Wigan now with 12 men. Can Leeds take advantage here? Schofield using that blind side. Oh, and there is a chance. It looks like a try for Morley. Gary Schofield switched it to the blind side, and the youngster goes over for the try. Adrian Morley will be delighted with this.
Massive gap on the blind side. Gary Schofield, he's had a sound game, and he just brought Morley in. No double movement, just a straight momentum drive.
You see here, Scott Quinnell goes low, but just can't get across to Adrian Morley. It's not double movement. I'm sure that his momentum carried over the line, and a good try.
No, he puts the ball down on the line, and that's a try. Another chance from Graham Holroyd. Prolific point scorer last season. Picked up 317 points with 134 goals. Not had many goal-kicking chances this season. Leeds started off with Paul Cook in this department, then turned to Stuart Cummins. But today, this 20-year-old from the Siddle Amateur Club. And we can see again the strength of that win. Jim Fallon, a la rugby union style of the old days, holding the ball just inside that 20-metre area. A tricky kick here for the Leeds fullback. Yes, and I think too many problems with that wind helping to move it away. But nevertheless, spirited resistance from Leeds, 38-10.
Simon Morley here, just coming in on the blind side, just onto the line. He just let go at the right point for a good score.
Leeds then putting a lot of pressure on in this final quarter, and I think one has got to compliment this Leeds side for the way they are keeping going. They are coming back.
Well, they haven't thrown the towel in, which is the character that their coach was talking about before the game, and that was just a great kick off and a great chase. They kicked the ball off, short kick, good chase through, and forced Wigan into the error.
Man inside to Golden. Tackle there, Chris Redlinski back on the field after the blood bin. Oh, Holroyd again! He's got some space himself. Can't get away. Henry Paul did well there, but he's got that pass away. It's Morley again. And it's Leeds really showing some spirit now and some fire. And no end of good classy football. Shaw. Schofield puts it across there, and George Mann's in this time. Well, what a fight back here by Leeds. George Mann, who's been hovering around that left wing, looking for that sort of a gap. He found it, and he picks up a try.
There's Leeds, good quick ball from Shaw there, Gary Schofield. Now this is good vision. Sees that George Mann's running into big open spaces there. Simon Horton hangs off, and George Mann, big man, he can't stop him that close to the line.
Yeah, good sound Leeds attack here. Put Twiggamalo in two minds. He didn't know whether to come in for the McDermott or stay out for Mann, and Mann shot through the gap.
One of the big problems, of course, for Wigan, Terry, down to 12 men with Connolly in the sin bin.
That's right, and this is where the gaps are starting to appear. And given those tackle counts we looked at earlier, they have been high on the defence, and I'm sure they're just down a little bit, Steve.
They are, as we were talking about before, that's the 18th set of 6 tackle Leeds have had, and they've had a lot of the ball. Wigan have only had it 9 times, and probably has taken its toll. But we must give Leeds credit that they've never give up. They're still in the fight, and they're back there ready to kick off. They believe they can win this game, Leeds. They think they score again quickly, they're right back in the game. They've never give up.
Well, they certainly are at 38-14. No game is dead, not with the time that we've got remaining. And here we can see the gaps are appearing out wide as long as Connolly is off for certain.
Yeah, Twiggamalo's in two minds, and George Mann, the first time he's got away from the Wigan defence, in for the score.
Quinnell did well to flick that ball back to Henry Paul, and Wigan now really have got to hold this ball, play for time.
Chris Lavzinski back on for Wigan with 30 seconds, just 30 seconds to go to the blood bin limit. 5 stitches in a fat bottom lip. And Terry O'Connor back on the bench now. Terry O'Connor's on the bench as a precaution because of the injuries to Kelvin Skerritt. They want to make sure they don't lose too many forwards for the final next week.
Well, Sean Edwards didn't exactly like that, but a penalty against Wigan for not playing the ball correctly, as we'll see.
Well, Smythe's trying to get up now. He gets to his feet. There's hands in to play the ball. He could have found 1 or 2, maybe 3 different penalties there. But Sean Edwards is saying, look, Rob, we're in front. We don't have to do dumb things. You should have just taken your time, got up, played the football. We've still got it. Instead, he's conceded a penalty.
Nevertheless, whatever the rights and wrongs of that decision there from Stuart Cummings, it puts Leeds on the attack again. And Harvey Howard charges in. Good support with James Lowes. McDermott. Rows of Wigan going around this ground to help this side as Leeds pile on the pressure, but of course Wigan have the points in the bag. Just 6 minutes remaining. To Quinnell. This lad Scott Quinnell looks a complete forward now, Terry. He looks a future Great Britain player.
Yeah, he's had a splendid game, and he's really taken to lead with glowing colours.
Martin O'Fire on that far side. Cuts inside. Good play by Wigan.
The Wigan assistant coach Joe Lydon. Joe, this is just a bit too late from Leeds to get the nerves going, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, we expected Leeds to come back at us in the second half. We played some very, very good football in the first half and control the football. We made a few mistakes in the second half and let Leeds come back. Hopefully the clock will just beat them.
Thanks, Joe.
Martin Dermott. Quinnell again. Oh, just flicks off Craig Innes. Going for the line himself. Throws the pass out to corner to Smythe. That was superb play by the former Llanelli second row. Wigan on the attack again. Sean Edwards puts that kick across there. Oh, Henry Paul can't quite take it. Oh, that would possibly have been a try. A knock on the last tackle, so the handover.
Once again, Sean Edwards, great vision, sees it there that Jim Fallon's in close. Henry Paul unmarked, Redlinski unmarked. Henry Paul can't catch it. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 35 36 37 38 39 40 41 42 43 44 45 46 47 48 49 50 51 52 53 54 55 56 57 58 59 60 61 62 63 64 65 66 67 68 69 70 71 72 73 74 75 76 77 78 79 80 81 82 83 84 85 86 87 88 89 90 91 92 93 94 95 96 97 98 99 100 101 102 103 104 105 106 107 108 109 110 111 112 113 114 115 116 117 118 119 120 121 122 123 124 125 126 127 128 129 130 131 132 133 134 135 136 137 138 139 140 141 142 143 144 145 146 147 148 149 150 151 152 153 154 155 156 157 158 159 1
Jamie Field. Dermot. Oh, good powerful run here. Nice switch inside. Looked like a high tackle, but no, says the referee. Good running by Golden. He's got over that initial nervousness in the opening minutes. Good play here from Leeds now. Cummings. Part of the fire came in well there. Sensed the danger with Fallon out wide. Good ball to Gary Schofield. He's got Radlinski. A little chip kick for Craig Innes. Oh, it's beat both of them. Schofield will pick it up. Inside to Shaw. Oh, well, he's on his back, surely. That's a penalty. A double movement. And Leeds did everything but score. But let's compliment Chris Radlinski there. At the start, he was beaten all ends up, yet he recovered to stop Shaw. We see it there, a double movement. And he gets it down, he's on his back. But again, a tremendous effort from Leeds, Eric.
It has. It's been a rousing game, and Leeds have finished the game like they started it, playing top-class rugby, hitting hard up the wing, and it's just the middle bit where things went awry for them, and Wigan came up with the points. But a great display and a splendid afternoon rugby league.
It's made it. It's going to be a great final next week at McAlpine Stadium with two great teams, Wigan and St Helens. Both teams boast a lot of players that can run 50 or 60 metres and score tries.
Well, Wigan not settling for this 38-14 score. They want some more. Radlinski. Remember that this lad's just had 5 stitches inserted in earlier. Tremendous character. Good kick again, well taken by Jim Fallon. It's all action here at Central Park. Tremendous effort from Fallon. Good pass inside to Holroyd. Leeds in determined mood. Good run from Holroyd. Has he got the legs on Cassidy? He has. He gets it back inside to Cummings. Cummings. Good sidestepping effort. Wonderful reply there from Leeds. Leeds still in possession, piling the pressure on. Schofield finds man again out there with that wide pass. Can't get away himself. Golden. Oh, a try would do that lad's confidence good, but not so, says Gary Connolly. Leeds again going over, and George Manning again for his second try of the afternoon. Leeds pushing that ball out wide, and Wigan once again found wanting. Great reply from the Yorkshiremen.
Good work, Martin. But Golden plays the football after a good run here. Made a good effort there, Golden. Straight out low, sees the opportunity here, draws the defence into him, passes it out to an unmarked George Mann. Easy.
Nice switch down the blind side from Hookershaw. 2-on-1 situation, Twiggamala all at sea, but there's no cover for him, and George Mann picks up his second try.
Twiggamala had 3 men to mark then.
Yes, good try there from George Mann, and Holroyd looking to convert. Again, one of those tricky kicks. 8 metres in on the 20-metre line, just knocked between the posts there. The wind taking it across the face of the upright, but a lot of credit there in this Leeds fight back. 38 points to 18 from a stage when it looked to be a runaway.
Yeah, it did. To their credit, as we talked before, you just see they got only Edwards and Twiggamala on that side of the field. Leeds had 4 players. They were queuing up there, Leeds, and I'm sure that Dean Bell will be super pleased with the effort they've put in the last 40 minutes.
Well, I think he'll be pleased with the effort of the last 40 minutes, Terry, but I think he'll be saying, if only.
That's right, and it was in the first half where Martin Hall was instrumental in turning the game Wigan side.
Simon Horton having a good game. Slotted into the loose forward position in the absence of the injured Andy Farrell comfortably. Martin Dermot to Gary Connolly. Now then, can Wigan reply? I don't think they'll be too bothered with a scoreline like that. 38 points to 18. Martin Hall, the man of the match, deservedly so. He's worked with a lot of skill and a lot of fire around those who play the balls. Sean Edwards, oh, well, he was taken out there. He was taken out after the kick by Jamie Field. And Jamie Field had been spoken to a couple of times earlier in this match.
We'll have a look here. Sean Edwards' little chip kick. There was nothing in that. I don't think there was anything at all in that little shoulder. The referee must have been unsighted because he's bringing the touch judge for a report.
Well, it was a shoulder, but I think he's going to be placed on report. The arms crossed above the head by Mr. Cummins indicate that Greg McCallum, the referee's controller, will have a look at the video of this and will decide whether there was malicious intent, and it certainly was an obstruction.
It was indeed, and he did just dip his shoulder. Whether he just pulled away from the true maliciousness of it, Edwards got on his feet to his credit. That's the measure of the guy. He didn't lie down. He said, OK, I've been knocked over, but I'm not hurt. And, you know, he recognised it was a youngster, probably just a little bit of impetuous behaviour.
And I think Wigan here, 38 points to 18. It may seem a bit silly to go for goal, but I think they've had a look at the clock. They see it's time. They don't want any more injuries, do they?
One of the big factors is that people have to realise that they've only had the ball for 13 sets of 6 tackles. They've had to do a lot of defending, and this is going to give them a rest, and they need a rest. You just cannot keep defending for 40 minutes, which they've nearly done. On the other hand, Leeds have had it for 21 sets of 6. Well, so it's given Wigan a rest.
He's missed it, Steve, would you believe it? But I think that's what he was doing. He was playing for time. It's 30-18 to Wigan. A tremendous match. Excellent fight back and comeback by Leeds, but Wigan, they remain unstoppable. The grand slam of trophies last season. The centenary championship already virtually in the bag. And now they move on to the McAlpine Stadium at Huddersfield next Saturday for a record 9th appearance in a Regal trophy. Henry Paul there, the Kiwi point scorer, man of the match. Martin Hall there at number 9. And I'm sure already they will have their eyes on the opposition, St Helens. It will be stiff, a fierce local derby. And I'm sure St Helens will know exactly what they've got to do to contain these men, the world champions. Simon Horton applauding the crowd for the encouragement that this big Wigan contingent gave to their players.
Sean Edwards, OBE, and congratulations on that. Sean, it might have been a different story if the Leeds had stirred themselves a bit earlier, mightn't it?
No, they was very stirred early on. What happened was that we started to lose the ball early in the tackle count later on, give them the momentum to score a few tries. But I was very pleased with our first half-hour performance. I don't think we dropped the ball for half an hour.
Yeah, it was a very professional performance, wasn't it?
Thank you very much. Yeah, our form's picked up the last 3 weeks. We had a meeting after the Oldham game. I noted a few difficulties, and now we're trying to get a bit of meanness back in our defence.
What's Gary Connolly doing, going for try of the season, I suppose?
Well, Gary Connolly is a world-class player.
Absolutely. And what about the final, St Helens Classic?
Well, I think we're probably going into the game in our own minds as underdogs after the performance by St Helens last week. I mean, to beat Warrington 8-0 is absolutely unbelievable. And we know we're going to have to play even better than we did today to beat St Helens.
Thanks, Sean. Congratulations. Thank you.
Another emphatic Wigan performance, 38 points to 18, beating Leeds this afternoon. Now it's on to Huddersfield next weekend for the Regal Trophy final, Wigan against St Helens, and we'll have that live for you in Grandstand next Saturday.